Do you want to draw just like the Invader ZIM art style? I can help with that. Hi, I'm Flamgo, I'm the art director of Invader ZIM Lost and Found, where we're producing official looking episodes such as Squishy Hugger of Worlds and Top of the Line, and it's my job to teach people these things. Welcome to the first episode of Art School. Today's subject, head shapes and anatomy. Let's get into it. Now, a pretty general art tip that applies to basically anything ever is that turning everything into basic shapes is a great way to comprehend form. The Invader ZIM art style is actually no exception. In fact, it's a pretty good prime example with its angular ways. The majority of characters, if you look closely, are just cubes with extra steps. If you're new to drawing a certain character, or pretty much anything ever in the world, take a picture of them and break their bodies into cubes or cones or whatever looks the most accurate. With Zim and Dib especially, a great way to draw their heads from any angle is to start with a box. But I can't draw a box! What am I supposed to do? Here's a really good solution. Tutorials. Now, I would use the official turnarounds we have of them for this, but they're Season 1 style. I'm teaching you the Season 2 style, the way the show was supposed to look the whole time. Better. Zim's head doesn't change too much, but the top slip on the back is longer than it was before. It goes about halfway across. Knowing this, start Zim's head with a cube, and add some slanted rectangles on top to construct those slopes. When drawing it from a front angle, the top of his head meets into a point. Make sure these slopes aren't too steep, or else it'll look odd. For simplicity, you can also break heads into two-dimensional shapes for a less intricate perspective. Like here, you can just break this into a rectangle and a square. Practice this, and soon you'll be able to freehand Zim's head. Dib, on the other hand, his head shape changed more in Season 2. Instead of this weird-looking curve on the front and straight line in the back, both sides are now beveled angular edges. From the front angle, his head isn't just a stupid-looking square, the edges are beveled here too. This doesn't mean you can't simplify his head into a cube or a square. I encourage you still do so, but if you need to, turn his head angles into the constructed slopes of the cube to get a better grasp on the shape. This applies to Gaz as well. Her head used to be pretty round, especially when she was a kid, but now it follows the same angles as Dib. It's almost like they're related. As for chins, a common problem I see with people is either they curve the chins too much so it just looks like a point, or they don't curve it enough so now the head is too short. I'd say a good rule of thumb is to start with a square where these vertices meet, and make sure the end of the chin meets the bottom corner like this. Head shapes definitely vary in complexity, but using your knowledge of head construction, you can work your way up by simplifying things and adding from there. Necks. Oftentimes, necks and bodies meet at a point. A common mistake is people making necks too thick, when in reality, a lot of characters' necks, such as Zim's, meet at a point. So the neck and the top of the body meet at a point right here, and you don't usually see it. It's usually you see it with the collar of his little tunic uniform thing. But the neck and the top of the torso meet at a point. His neck usually wouldn't be this thick. If you're drawing a character, check their neck. See if they can be simplified into a K or X shape like this. Now, this doesn't apply to everyone. Some characters have no neck, but it may just be that one thing wrong that you can't put your finger on. Head-to-body ratios are obviously very subjective, but I'll provide some solid ones for main characters and how to find other ones for yourself. When it comes to Zim's anatomy, his head and his entire body are the same length.
Oh, okay. That's actually really helpful.
His body would go about halfway, and his legs would go about down to here. As for Dib, fun fact, he is slightly shorter than Zim. Why is that? See, his head is slightly bigger than his body.
Oh, just the proportion of the...
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like the hair or something.
No, not including the hair, it's just the head.
Okay. That's good to know as well.
So now you may notice that characters are often measured in heads. That's also done in real life. To study a character's proportions, a good way to measure is taking the height of their head and stacking it next to them, seeing what feature is marked at each notch, and use that as a guide to draw the character yourself. In the Invader ZIM Lost and Found server, I provide personalized art school sessions and voice chat. You can poke me, schedule a time, and I can have different kinds of sessions with you. I can provide in-depth critiques on your work, answer questions, or just provide general lessons, whatever you want. And if granted permission, I can record these meetings and you might see them on these episodes. I plan to make more episodes covering different parts of the Invader ZIM art style for subjects like poses, expressions, line work, dedicated videos to the certain main characters, backgrounds, and maybe one day I'll cover the floor style as well. That'll be a while. But until then, see you guys soon.